Namaste programs and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's the Nevada Bush Trip, leg 3 from Olancha to Manzanar Airport. Okay, let's do it. 099 to 067. So get that over there and let's get ourselves in the air. We want 338 for 14 minutes and 1 second. We're just doing a straight shot. 338. Well, there we go. Gain some height. Start our clock. Lone Pine. Taking off from Olancha, make your way north using the road as a guide and you'll quickly discover the dried out bed of Owens Lake. Now a massive salt flat dotted with sporadic seasonal brine ponds. Beyond the basin, a bit farther north, lies the small frontier town of Lone Pine. Excellent. Feel like I know that name. Don't know why. Maybe there was a song, maybe it was in a movie. What is this pond? Pond with big buildings around it. Interesting. This must be the salt flat. No, it's actually water there. Well, the salt flat must be past the water, I suppose. What road are we following? The one on the left, I guess. Alright, anyway, good to know. Good to know. Wait for this white immersion breaking box to disappear and then we can have a bit of a look around. Oh, wow. Look at that lighting on that. Beautiful Nevada mountains. I actually don't know what the name of the mountain range is, but hey, I'm sure it's been mentioned. And I've forgotten. Back the way we came. Over these pools, ponds, they look like they're man-made. Or I don't know, segmented. Alright, that ought to do for climbing. Power down a bit, let's trim down a bit. Try and get our speed under control. Unlike that. Trimmed a bit much. Maybe trim up just a little bit more. Power down a little bit more. Not that we really care about being too fast, but hey, it's all based on the timings. Small frontier town of Lone Pine. We've got like, is that like barrels or something? What's with all those circles there? It's little carved out ponds for something? Maybe they're growing some aquatic creature, I don't know. We're still dropping out of the sky and too fast, so trim back a little bit more. Even more. Right, speed's now good. And we should start dropping down a little bit. Let's see if we're doing alright. There'll be a bit of sort of bobbling for a bit until it settles down. How far down are we going? Pretty good, somewhere like 2 or 3%. Speed will come back up, and then we'll go back up to 0%. Pretty good on the trimming there. I think that's about what we want. We've got this aqueduct that apparently goes to Los Angeles. And this giant long straight road, which we're following because we're in an aeroplane and we could go anywhere, but why not follow the road? Okay, someone used a Hattori Hanzo sword on that river over there. If you should find God on your travels, even God will get cut. See, now I've got that in my head. What a mistake. What a mistake. The Lonely Shepherd. Bit of the old pan flutes going. Power up just a little bit. I feel like we're still dropping a bit, even though I like where the trim's at. Look at all these little cars driving to wherever they're going. Oh, aren't they cute? Oh, they all disappeared. Must be an invisible tunnel. Why, that's red. Algae bloom or something, I guess. Incredible. Look how flat it is. I mean, I said that last leg, but it just boggles my mind that it's become this flat. I guess it was underwater and it's just millions of years of grinding down has flattened it all. Where are we supposed to be? 338. Let's get back on course. So we've done nearly 7 minutes of 14, so we're halfway there. I must say, I had forgotten that this bush trip had so many just long segments. But I don't mind it because the scenery is quite spectacular and there's, you know, a good mix of natural and human stuff to look at. This canal is an obvious example of that. It is a natural, well, it's not a natural waterway, but it is water. But it's an unnatural waterway, I'm guessing, given that it was called a canal, and it looks like a giant concrete thing that they've just carved through the Nevada plains here in order to get water to Los Angeles. Which is kind of nutty when you think about it. More of these sort of watery fields with circular... I wonder what they're growing. Or harvesting. So what are we... The Owens Lake, now a massive salt flat. Oh, dotted with sporadic seasonal brine ponds. I mean, it told me and I didn't even listen. These are brine ponds. They're harvesting brine. Well, good stuff. So we've done 8 minutes 40 of 14, so about 5.5 to go. So I should be able to see the town of Lone Pine in the distance by now. Probably where that dark patch is. I think it's It's sort of not quite showing buildings yet, but it does sort of look like the algorithm's hinting that there might be a town there. It even looks like there's a runway, but I don't think that's the one we're headed to. Small frontier town of Lone Pine. Known, of course, for its famous singular pine. Wait, isn't that a joke? No, well, like a thing of Back to the Future, that his housing estate is Twin Pines, and then he knocks one over in the past, and then when he comes back it's Lone Pine? Is that where I've heard the name Lone Pine? Is it Back to the Future? No, I'm sure there's like a western set in Lone Pine or something like that. Maybe this sort of these hills over to the left with the aqueduct. They just don't look real. I know that, and they look real, but they just, it looks like something a game would do to look interesting rather than be actual real geography, and yet this is actual real geography. Amazing. Alright, we've done 10.5 minutes. This is definitely Lone Pine coming up. This is the outskirts of Lone Pine, some kind of trailer park there. All hail the trailer park. Pretty sure I don't have topographical maps, so I can't be sure that that's a runway, but it looks like a runway, let's not kid ourselves. So Lone Pine has an airport. And we'll see if the algorithm has rendered in the singular pine. Why is there a flashing tower there? Is that a part of the runway as well? Is this a runway? Oh, this must be the parking for the airport. There's the actual runway. I thought there must be one here, given that there's a tower here, but no. But no. Alright, we've done 11:38, so another couple of minutes. I'm going to turn once we get on top of the town. Yeah, so the air traffic control tower is all the way over to the left here, and that must be like a kilometre or two. I mean, the runway itself would be 1 or 2 kilometres, most runways are. And then you've got this gigantic taxiway to a parking area miles away from the actual runway, all servicing one of the smallest towns in the area. Must be very important. Look at the planes in their parking bays down there. Hello, little planes. Hello, Lone Pine. I see lots of pines. Bullshit. Cute little town, I have to say. Alright, I think it's probably time to turn. So, let's see. Well, they're about a minute earlier than the timing, but it's fine, it's fine. We want 3:20 for 5 minutes 46. Reset our clock. And we're going to Manzanar Airport. To the west of Lone Pine, set against the jagged peaks of the Sierra Nevada, find the rounded contours of the Alabama Hills and the LA Aqueduct running along its base. Follow the waterway north until it crosses paths with the highway. A short distance from there, between the road and the water, waits an airstrip where you can land. Manzanar Airport. Between the road and the water. Now, to be fair, it's nearly 6 minutes away, so we're not gonna, it's gonna be past these hills, the Alabama Hills. Is Alabama anywhere near here? Who was Alabama then? that they were naming hills here, and also, is it not a state? Am I incorrect in that? I am probably Alabama? I'm trying to think of a town then. What would be the capital of Alabama? My geography's so bad. Why am I even torturing myself trying to think of American geography? I should just be enjoying the amazing scenery here with this riverbed with its colours and incredible tall mountains here on the right. The huge, long, salt flat plains all the way back where we came from. We've got more hills, we've got more mountains, even taller mountains off to the left that quite frankly do not look real at all. I mean, again, what I'm saying is, I'm sure that's what they look like in real life. It's not that the game is making them look unreal, it's that they are unreal. Just out of the box. Having grown up in Australia, mountains are pretty foreign to me. You know, this hill here is probably the height of our tallest mountain. It's not quite sure. I think it's... I've forgotten. It's 2 or 3 kilometres high, our tallest mountain, which is tallest than the highest mountain in Britain, for example. But nowhere near anything like the French Alps, or even the Pyrenees, or even these, I imagine. Some of these mountains here look like they're probably 3 or 4k high. Maybe. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Again, not an expert on mountains. Alright, so we've done nearly 3 minutes. Another 2 or so to go, so we should be able to see the airport. So it was between the water and the road. I can vaguely see something that's probably the airport. I think there's some lines here, maybe. They're a little bit too far just yet to make out exactly. And why are we landing at Manzanar when there was a nice town we could have visited overnight, Lone Pine? We could have found the Lone Pine. But here we're landing in the middle of effing nowhere. Yeah, okay, so this airport does have 2 runways, and I can sort of see we're gonna land on that one. I think it will be the easiest. Which means we can probably start slowing down a bit. And getting our flaps down. Ready for landing. Alright, flaps are good. 2 flaps are good. Now we sort of float on our way. I think we probably need to go a bit faster. We'll go to the interior view. I think I prefer that one, so that we can line things up properly. Try and get a gauge of whether we're coming in short or long. For the moment it's looking pretty good. Keeping the nose basically on the end of the runway. And sort of using my peripheral vision to look around at the landscape around me of whether we're coming in sort of too slow or too steep. Hard to describe, but I sort of understand it intuitively. So for example, I think we're still pretty good. I was going to say, I think we might be coming in a little bit too long, but I think we're pretty good, to be honest. Alright, I think we can start turning towards it, making our way to Manzanar Airport. How are we looking? How are we looking? We're good on speed. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. We can just come floating on in now. And TBH. And we're pretty close to being able to just cut the power completely. There we go. We're above the runway. Well, we're about to be close enough. We can start flaring. Don't want to be going too slow. Alright, one bounce. One bounce. That's good enough for me. Alright, slow her down slowly. Try not to tip her. Don't tip. Don't tip. Didn't tip. Okay. Is it gonna... It did. It registered. Alright. Quick 20-minute one. That was leg 3 of the Nevada bush trip. I hope you can join me for the next one in a couple of days. See you then. Au revoir. Goodbye.